Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. If you're new, my name is Courtney. If you're returning, welcome back. Quick shout out to everybody over on Patreon for their support. And if you're watching this video with military affiliation, thank you so much for your service. Today, guys, we're going to get into 1957's 12 Angry Men. This was actually requested, and when I looked at the list on IMDb, I noticed that this is one of the movies I have not seen, so perfect timing. So yeah, guys, we don't waste time over here. We're going to get straight into it, and I hope that you guys enjoy the reaction. And I know this has to do with the court case. That much I do know. Oh, wow. That man looks like he's seen some things. Oh, they won their case.
You've listened to a long and complex case, murder in the first degree. It's now your duty to sit down and try and separate the facts from the fancy. If there's a reasonable doubt in your minds as to the guilt of the accused, then you must bring me a verdict of not guilty.
Right.
In the event that you find the accused guilty, the death sentence is mandatory in this case.
Couldn't be more clearer. Oh, wow. So young. All right, well, let's see how long this takes. Was this a break before? Well, yeah, I mean, they did just get out of court, so I guess a quick break before they start talking. Was that symbolism for how hot it's going to get during this discussion? Yeah, those haven't been open in a while.
Now, if there's anything you want, I'll be right outside the door. Just knock.
Okay. I never knew they locked the door. Sure they locked the door. What'd you think?
You learn something new every day.
What gets me is where those lawyers talk and talk and talk, even when it's an open and shut case like this one.
Well, is it really open and shut, though?
If you ask me, I'd slap those tough kids down before they start any trouble.
I tell you, we were lucky to get a murder case. I figured us for an assault or burglary. Boy, they can be the dullest.
Oh, you were here for the entertainment?
These hot weather colds can kill you. I can hardly touch my nose, you know what I mean?
Oh, come on, Mr. Foreman. Let's go here, huh?
Well, the guy's still in the bathroom.
It's a long bathroom break.
I don't know about the rest of you, but I happen to have tickets to that ball game tonight. Yeah, we got this kid Modulewski in there. Oh, he's a real bull, this kid. You know?
Well, I thought we'd sit in order, you know, by jury numbers.
Well, the way he hammered home those points one by one. Logical sequence.
That man is suffering from this cold.
Say, we'd like to get started. Gentlemen at the window, we'd like to get started.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Pretty tough to figure, isn't it? Kid kills his father.
Oh, wow. It was his dad.
You fellas can handle this thing any way that you want to. I'm not going to make any rules.
Psycho. Arbogast. I think that is him, the same actor.
We vote the accused guilty. We've got to send him to the chair. All those voting guilty, please raise your hands. 8, 9, 10, 11. Those voting not guilty, 1.
All right, give us your reasonings.
Boy, oh boy, there's always one.
Hey, relax. Hear him out.
You really think he's innocent?
There's reasonable doubt.
The kid's a dangerous killer, you could see it.
He's 18 years old. It's not easy to raise my hand and send a boy off to die without talking about it first.
I like the way you think.
We can't decide it in 5 minutes, supposing we're wrong.
Supposing this whole building should fall down on my head, you can suppose anything.
So that means that y'all should suppose there's a possibility that he's innocent.
Ball game doesn't start till 8 o'clock.
Who's got something to say?
I'm willing to sit for an hour.
Great. I heard a pretty good story last night.
Wait a second now? Rude?
What are we sitting here for?
To discuss this young man.
This kid's been kicked around all of his life. You know, born in a slum. He lived for a year and a half in an orphanage when his father was serving a jail term for forgery.
Oh, wow.
He's had a pretty miserable 18 years. I just think we owe him a few words, that's all.
I do appreciate that.
He got a fair trial, didn't he? What do you think that trial cost? He's lucky he got it. You're not going to tell me that we're supposed to believe this kid knowing what he is?
What he is?
I mean, they're born liars.
Only an ignorant man can believe that.
Rice Pops. It's a product I work on at the agency.
What in the world?
The breakfast with a built-in bounce. I wrote that line.
Can we stay focused, please?
It seems to me that it's up to the group of us to convince this gentleman that he's wrong and we're right.
Suppose we go once around the table.
Well, it's hard to put into words.
Do your best.
Well, I just think he's guilty. I mean, somebody saw him do it.
Based off... Okay, moving on.
I have no personal feelings about this. I just want to talk about facts. The old man lived downstairs under the room where the killing took place. And he heard the kid yell out, "I'm going to kill you." Ran to the door, opened it up, saw the kid running down the stairs and out of the house.
Were they the only two in the room? Was there someone else?
He claimed he was at the movies during the time of the killing, and yet 1 hour later, he couldn't remember the names of the films he saw or who played in them.
Listen, what about the woman across the street? If her testimony don't prove it, nothing does.
Fellas, please, let's go in order here, huh?
Yeah, don't skip around.
She looks out the window, and right across the street, she sees the kid stick the knife into his father.
Through the windows of a passing L train.
Right.
You don't believe the boy's story. How come you believe the woman's? She's one of them, too, isn't she?
Ooh.
You're a pretty smart fella, aren't you?
I like that he pointed it out.
Now, can I pass it?
No, add something to the conversation. Well, okay, I guess we're skipping him then.
Well, didn't they say something about a fight, an argument between the old man and his son around about,
It was 8 o'clock. It was 8 o'clock. Then they heard the father hit the boy twice. Finally, they saw the boy run angrily out of the house. What does that prove?
Don't exactly prove anything. It's just part of the
Well, you
picture.
said it provided a motive.
Right.
I don't think that was a very strong motive. I can't see 2 slaps in the face provoking him into committing murder.
That's a good point.
Everyone has a breaking point.
Fair. Fair.
I don't know. It's all been said. This kid is 5 for 0. He's picked up twice for knife fighting. Oh, yeah, they say he's real handy with a knife.
Ever since he was 5 years old, his father beat him up regularly. He used his fists.
It's these kids the way they are nowadays.
It's how he was raised, his circumstances.
You got any kids?
3?
I got one. When he was 9 years old, he ran away from a fight. I saw it. I was so embarrassed I almost threw up.
Oh, wow.
I said, "I'm going to make a man out of you if I have to break you in 2 trying."
Dang.
Well, I made a man out of him. When he was 16, we had a fight. Hit me in the jaw. He's a big kid. Haven't seen him for 2 years.
Funny how things work out, huh?
It's no secret children from slum backgrounds are potential menaces to society.
Not necessarily.
The kids who crawl out of these places are real trash. I don't want any part of them, I'm telling you.
Listen,
He has experience with this.
I've played in backyards that were filled with garbage. Maybe you can still smell it on me.
Now listen, Sonny.
Come on now, there's nothing personal
Oh,
about
there
this.
was something personal. Come on.
Let him speak.
I didn't expect a turn. I thought you were all going to try to convince me. Wasn't that the idea?
That is the idea.
We decided to, do this a certain way. I think we ought to stick to that way.
Oh, stop being a kid, will ya?
You take on the responsibility. I'll keep my mouth shut, that's all.
What are you getting so hot about? Calm down.
Because of the way you're reacting to all of this. Come on.
All right, let's hear from somebody.
Well, if you want...
I would get frustrated too. It's okay. I understand.
I began to get a peculiar feeling about this trial. I mean, nothing is that positive. It's also possible for a lawyer to be just plain stupid, isn't it?
Yeah, it is.
I kept putting myself in the kid's place. I'd want my lawyer to tear the prosecution witnesses to shreds, or at least try to.
I would too.
But actually, those 2 witnesses were the entire case for the prosecution. Supposing they're wrong.
What's the point of having witnesses at all?
Could they be wrong?
It could be.
Those people sat on the stand under oath.
They're only people. People make mistakes. Could they be wrong?
Mm-hmm.
Well, no, I don't think so.
I think so.
Oh, come on, nobody can know a thing like that. This isn't an exact science.
That's right, it isn't.
You just proved his point.
What about the switch knife?
There's some people who haven't talked yet. Shouldn't we go in order?
They'll get a chance to talk. Just be quiet a second, will you?
Well, geez.
Let's get it in here and look at it. I'd like to see it again, Mr. Foreman.
Say, could you bring us the knife?
Knife?
Yeah. The boy admitted going out of the house at 8 o'clock on the night of the murder after being slapped several times by his father.
He said punch. There's a difference between a slap and a punch.
See, y'all heard different things.
This wasn't what you'd call an ordinary knife. The storekeeper who sold it to him said it was the only one of its kind he had ever had in stock. He talked with his friends for about an hour, leaving them at 9:45. During this time, they saw the switch knife.
And he also claims that the 2 detectives arrested him and threw him down a half a flight of stairs.
Oh, wow.
He claims that it fell through a hole in his pocket on the way to the movies sometime between 11:30 and 3:10.
Or he showed off the knife to his friends when his friends got a hold of it and killed his dad? Maybe?
Now, are you trying to tell me that this knife really fell through a hole in the boy's pocket? Someone picked it up off the street, went to the boy's house, and stabbed his father with it?
Possibly.
Take a look at this knife. I've never seen one like it. Neither had the storekeeper who sold it to the boy.
I mean, it is very unique and distinct, but still.
I'm just saying a coincidence is possible.
And I say it's not possible.
I would think it would be believable if... Oh.
It's the same night.
Think you're doing?
Oh, wow. I was not ready for that.
I bought that in a little pawn shop just 2 blocks from the boy's house.
Listen, you pulled a real bright trick. Now, supposing you tell me what it proves.
Someone else could have bought one.
Asking us to believe that somebody else did the stabbing with exactly the same kind of knife.
Yes.
It's possible.
But not very probable.
Seriously?
You know, it's interesting that he'd find a knife exactly like the one the boy bought.
What's interesting about it?
If it's that easy for him to get it, anyone could get it.
So if you want to be stubborn and hang this jury, go ahead. The kid will be tried again and found guilty as sure as he's born. Oh, listen, I don't see what all this stuff about a knife.
And he's up again.
I got 3 garages of mine going to pot while you're talking. So let's get done and get out of here.
Someone could have threatened or paid off the witnesses.
I want you 11 men to vote by secret written ballot. There are 11 votes for guilty. I won't stand alone. We'll take in a guilty verdict to the judge right now. But if anyone votes not guilty, we stay here and talk it out. Well, that's it. If you want to try it, I'm ready.
Sure, why not? We're not exactly getting anywhere right now. You know in his heart he doesn't really want to do it this way.
Guilty. Guilty?
Come on, cursive handwriting. Watch, the very last one's going to be not guilty. Oh.
Not guilty.
Who was it? Come on, I want to know.
It was secret.
What do you mean, secret? There are no secrets in a jury room. I know who it was. Brother, you really are something.
I don't think he changed his. Somebody else did. Is it the guy next to him?
What made you change your vote?
He didn't change his vote. I did.
All right,
Would you
well,
like me to tell you why?
there you have it. And yes, please tell us why.
If you don't mind.
Do we have to listen to this?
Yes, you guys are a jury.
This gentleman has been standing alone against us. Well, it's not easy to stand alone against the ridicule of others.
Say that again.
I want to hear more. Right now, the vote is 10-2. I'm talking here.
The disrespect.
I think we ought to take a break. You know, one man's inside, and I think we ought to wait for him.
You know, in advertising, I told you I work in an agency.
Yeah, we see the rice pot box.
I'm telling about in an ad agency when a point like this is reaching a meeting.
We hear you loud and clear.
Some account exec will get up and he'll say, here's an idea, let's run it up the flagpole and see if anyone salutes it.
All right.
Got a little excited back there. I didn't mean to get nasty. Glad you're not one of those lets these emotional appeals influence him.
That man needs to be a little bit more educated on just the ways of people.
I don't know what's the matter with that fan. Can't seem to get it started.
Hey, you a salesman?
I'm an architect.
You know what the soft sell is? Well, you got it. Believe me. I made 27 grand last year selling marmalade.
He's really not paying you any mind.
You know, you do-gooders are all alike.
Wow, dude, really?
This kid is guilty, pal. We're gonna all get sore throats if we keep it up, you know?
What difference does it make if you get it here at the ball game?
Good point.
Nice bunch of guys, huh?
There's something.
You think he's not guilty, huh?
I don't know. It's possible.
There's reasonable doubt.
Supposing you were the one that was on trial.
Supposing you talk us all out of this and kid really did knife his father, huh?
Again, it's a possibility, but I get a lot of sides. I get a lot of the opinions that people have, but still.
She said she saw the killing through the windows of a moving elevator train.
Has anybody here any idea how long it would take an
Are you serious right now? You better rip that up.
This isn't a game.
Did you see him? The nerve.
No, you're the one with a lot of nerve.
Who does he think he is?
All right, I'm telling you, don't...
Someone who's actually taking this seriously.
It takes a 6-car L train 10 seconds to pass a given point. When the window is open and the train goes by, the noise is almost unbearable. You can hardly hear yourself think.
Okay.
The old man in the apartment downstairs. He says he heard the boy say, "I'm gonna kill you," and a split second later heard a body hit the floor.
I see what he's doing.
Since the woman saw the killing through the last 2 cars, we can assume that the body hit the floor just as the train went by.
Right.
Would have had to hear the boy make this statement with the L roaring past his nose. Even if he heard something, he still couldn't have identified the voice.
Right.
Well, I think testimony that could put a boy into the electric chair should be that accurate.
I agree.
Why should he lie? What's he got to gain?
Attention, maybe.
You keep coming in with these bright sayings. Why don't you send them into a paper? They pay $3 a piece.
What are you talking to him like that for?
Why are y'all talking to each other? Okay. There was an ad break. Sorry about that. Like, why are they even talking to each other so rudely to begin with anyway? Like, I mean, geez. I know it's frustrating probably, but... Baby.
You gotta have more respect, mister. If you say stuff like that to him again, I'm gonna lay you out.
Yeah. He needs to learn to be a little bit more respectful.
He was dragging his left leg and trying to hide it. This is a quiet, frightened, insignificant old man who has never had recognition or his name in the newspapers.
Ah.
Nobody seeks his advice after 75 years.
And now he feels a sense of importance.
To be quoted just once, very important to him. Perhaps he made himself believe he heard those words and recognized the boy's face.
That can happen, yeah.
Oh, does anybody want a cough drop?
No, thanks. I'll take one. I think we proved that the old man couldn't have heard the boy say, "I'm gonna kill you." But suppose he did.
Prove it at all.
I think he did prove it.
This phrase, how many times have all of us used it? Probably thousands. I could kill you for that, darling.
Don't tell me you didn't mean it. Anybody says a thing like that the way he said it, they mean it. Now listen, this guy's trying to make you believe things that aren't so. The kid said he was going to kill him, and he did kill him.
Oh, this guy.
Do you really think the boy'd shout out a thing like that so the whole neighborhood could hear him?
Right.
I don't think so. He's much too bright for that.
Bright? He's a common, ignorant slob. He don't even speak good English.
So then how could he have yelled out, "I'm gonna kill you"?
I'd like to change my vote to not guilty.
You what?
You heard him.
Look, lawyers aren't infallible, you know. Baltimore, please, huh?
He was court appointed. It could mean he didn't want the case or he resented being appointed.
True.
He'd really have to believe in his client to put up any kind of a good case, and as you pointed out a minute ago, obviously he didn't.
Yeah, he just wanted to get it over with.
If he really had killed his father, why would he come back home 3 hours later?
That's what I was wondering, too.
It's not nice to go around leaving knives sticking in people's chests.
Yeah, especially relatives.
Yeah.
I don't see anything funny about it.
Yeah, there's nothing funny about that.
But if he knew the knife could be identified, why did he leave it there in the first place?
Good point.
Look, you voted guilty. What side are you on?
I don't believe I have to be loyal to one side or the other. I'm simply asking questions.
And they are very good questions.
I bet he figured he'd find the body the next day. The woman across the street testified that the moment after she saw the killing, she screamed. The boy certainly must have heard the scream. So he knew that somebody saw something.
He would have taken it with him, right then and there.
I think there's enough doubt that we can wonder whether he was there at all during the time the killing took place.
Did or didn't the old man see the kid running out of the house at 12:10?
He says he did.
Says he did. Boy, how do you like that? What I mean?
Yelling down.
Oh, you keep saying that. Maybe what we need is a little yelling in here.
Oh, dear.
I'm talking here.
Another vote called for.
Yeah, there's going to be more not guilties.
All those voting not guilty, please raise your hands.
Someone else is going to put their hand up.
Pardon? I vote not guilty.
Hey, what is this? Love your underprivileged brother week or something? The kid you just decided isn't guilty was seen ramming this into his father.
Supposedly.
That's not the knife, don't you remember?
Ooh, good point. They took the real one out.
Are we supposed to believe that he didn't get up and run to his door and see the kid tearing down the steps 15 seconds after the killing?
Did the old man say he ran to the door?
Ran, walked, what's the difference?
He has a limp.
Where was the bedroom?
It was down the hall somewhere.
I thought you remembered everything. Don't you remember that?
No. Mr. Foreman, I'd like to see a diagram of the apartment.
How come you're the only one in this room who wants to see exhibits all the time?
I want to see this one, too.
Because that's what y'all should be doing.
He was an old man. Half the time he was confused. How could he be positive about anything?
Ha ha. There it is.
He said he got to his own front door as fast as he could, and he swore it couldn't have been more than 15 seconds.
You know, you ought to be in Atlantic City at that hair splitters convention.
Why don't you stop making smart remarks all the time?
Yeah, it would be nice if you would just stop.
The old man was in this bedroom right here. Walked 43 feet down and opened the front door, all in 15 seconds. You think he could have done it?
No, not with that limp.
You make it sound like a long walk.
For an old man who had a stroke, it is a long walk.
Oh, that's crazy. You can't recreate a thing like that.
Well, he's gonna do his best to do it.
Look, this is absolutely insane.
Get out of his way.
Come on, knock it off.
Okay, killer. Yeah. What are we gonna do, play charades now?
Basically, yeah. Act it out.
Come on, speed it up. He walked twice as fast as that.
Oh, please. You don't remember that. This is shot really good. I love how they're focused on how he was walking.
Lock, door, stop.
Right. 41 seconds.
Mm-hmm.
Got to his front door as fast as he could, heard somebody racing down the stairs, and assumed it was the boy.
I think that's possible.
That is possible.
Brother, I've seen all kinds of dishonesty in my day, but this little display takes the cake.
Really? You think this is dishonest? He's way too focused on the child's upbringing. I say child, he's 18. Y'all know what I'm trying to say.
Slipped through our fingers. Are you his executioner?
I'm one of them.
Ever since you walked into this room, you've been acting like a self-appointed public avenger.
Yeah.
You're a sadist.
Is there anything wrong, gentlemen? I heard some noise.
Everything's all right. We're just, a friendly little argument that's...
A friendly little argument. Okay, sure.
What are you looking at?
You're the problem, dude.
I beg pardon.
I beg pardon. What are you so polite about?
For the same reason you're not.
Mm-hmm. Love that.
This I have always thought is a remarkable thing about democracy. We have nothing to gain or lose by our verdict. It should not make it a personal thing.
I haven't given it much thought, but let's throw it out on the stoop and see if the cat licks it up.
See if the cat licks it up.
Oh, look how dark it's getting out there. I bet we're gonna have a storm now.
And if we do, oh well.
Pardon me, but don't you ever sweat?
No, I don't. Okay, I'll call off your jury numbers. 1. Oh, that's me. Vote guilty. 2.
Not guilty.
Number 3.
Guilty.
Number 4.
Guilty.
Number 5.
Not guilty.
Number 6.
Not guilty.
Number 7.
Guilty.
Number 8.
Not guilty.
Number 9.
Not guilty.
Number 10.
Guilty.
Number 11.
Not guilty.
Number 12. Number 12.
Ooh, not
Guilty.
guilty. Oh, dang it. I thought he was going to go not guilty on this one.
The vote is now 6-6.
Yeah, and we go into extra innings here, huh?
All he cares about is a baseball game.
It's a kid like that.
I don't think the kind of boy he is has anything to do with it.
Thank you.
I'd like to be a few years younger. That man gets on my...
Oh dear. Sit down, baby.
Well, it's hot in here, isn't it, huh?
Want a drink of water?
No, thanks.
Y'all need to have water and all sorts of stuff. Oh, there's water in the corner. I completely forgot.
How come you change your vote?
Well, it just seemed to me there was room for doubt.
Yep.
Oh, come on. You're like everybody else. You think too much, you get mixed up. You know what I mean?
See, you're not going to throw something at me. All right, y'all need to hurry this up. Someone's going to catch a heat stroke. Catch heat stroke, get heat stroke. What? Y'all know what I'm trying to say now. There's going to be a medical emergency.
Oh, it was quite a storm we had there. It was right in the middle of a game. And it starts to come down, cats and dogs, just like this. I swear, I nearly bawled, and just couldn't go nowhere.
What, is he going to have another fit?
Hey, huh? Must have been on the same switch with the lights.
That's a damn stupid thing to do.
You're just trying to bait me.
He did an excellent job.
Or he's just telling you the truth about yourself.
You still don't think there's room for reasonable doubt?
No, I don't.
Maybe you don't fully understand the term reasonable doubt.
Yeah, it seems like a lot of them don't.
I'm telling you, they're all alike. They come over here running for their life.
Dang, dude. Chill out.
Do you think you could remember details after an upsetting experience such as being slapped in the face by your father?
I think so.
The boy was questioned by the detectives in the kitchen of his apartment, while the body of his father was lying on the floor in the bedroom.
Yeah, how could you focus?
He had 3 months from the night of the murder to the day of the trial in which to memorize them.
I'd like to ask you a personal question.
Go ahead.
Where were you last night?
I was home.
How about the night before that?
Come on, what is this?
No, that's all right.
He's proving his point.
Monday night?
When you get down to New Year's Eve, 1954, let me know, huh?
Monday night,
See?
my wife and I went to the movies.
What did you see?
The Scarlet Circle.
What was the second feature?
Mrs. Bainbridge, the remarkable Mrs. Bainbridge.
I saw that. It's called The Amazing Mrs. Bainbridge.
Who was in The Amazing Mrs. Bainbridge?
Barbara Long, I think it was.
Who else?
I'd never heard of them before.
This movie is so good.
You weren't under an emotional stress, were you?
Yep. Ooh, you're sweating now.
No, I wasn't.
I think the point is made.
Yep.
You can talk till your tongue is dragging on the floor. The boy is guilty. He's got those cough drops.
They're all gone, my friend.
Yeah.
Say, could I see that knife a second, please?
It's 5 after 6. Let's get some dinner. We'll wait till 7 o'clock. Give it another hour.
There was this whole business about the stab wound and how it was made. The downward angle of it, you know.
Don't tell me we're going to start with that again.
Let him finish.
Now, the boy was 5 feet 7 inches tall. His father was 6'2". That's a difference of 7 inches. It's a very awkward thing to stab down into the chest of someone who's more than half a foot taller than you are.
Mm-hmm. They've mentioned that in crime shows, too.
I'll give you a demonstration. Somebody get up.
Well, I guess he's already up.
What's it all
Nobody's hurt. Right?
Right, nobody hurt.
Look at the angle. Down and in.
Well, hold on a minute, will you? Did you ever see a knife fight?
No.
You? No?
Oh, yeah, he would know because he was raised in the slums.
He'd never use it like this. See, you lose too much time switching hands. Here's how. Underhanded.
Mm-hmm.
That's why they made it open like that.
You think he could have made the kind of wound that killed his father?
Now, with the experience he'd had all his life handling these things, I feel he'd have gone for him underhanded.
How do you know?
He's seen enough of this to have first-hand knowledge.
What do you think?
I don't know.
What do you mean you don't know?
I don't know.
There's reasonable doubt now.
I changed my vote to not guilty.
Ooh.
You what? What kind of a man are you? And now you've changed your vote because you say you're sick of all the talking here? Who tells you that you have the right to play like this with a man's life?
You can't talk like that to me.
Yes, he can.
If you want to vote not guilty, then do it because you are convinced the man is not guilty.
Right, not just because you're trying to leave up out of here.
Or don't you have the guts to do what you think is right?
I told you. Not guilty.
Why?
Look, I don't have to...
Yes, you do. Explain yourself.
I don't think he's guilty.
Based on what?
Okay, all those voting not guilty, raise your hands. 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. All those voting guilty, raise your hands.
Wow, man, you're still voting guilty? After being asked, where were you on this particular day and this particular night? All right.
Look, you know how these people lie? It's born in them. They don't need any real big reason to kill someone either. No, sir.
He's constantly taking a group of people and putting them all in the same category.
Human life don't mean as much to them as it does to us.
Wow.
If somebody gets killed, so somebody gets killed. They don't care. Oh, sure, there's some good things about them, too. Look, I'm the first one to say that.
You're treating them like they're animals.
Most of them, it's like they have no feelings. They can do anything. What's going on here?
You're standing alone.
You're making a big mistake, you people.
You people?
They're no good. There's not a one of them who's any good. What's happening in here?
You're all over the place.
Listen to me.
Oh gosh, this is powerful right here.
This kid on trial here, his type. Well, don't you know about them?
His type. Listen to yourself.
There's a danger here. These people are dangerous. They're wild.
Wild. Taking the humanity out of them.
Now sit down and don't open your mouth again.
Oof.
Wherever you run into it, prejudice always obscures the truth.
That's a good line.
Let's talk about this woman for a moment. And she could look out while lying down and see directly into the boy's room across the street. And as she looked out, she saw the killing through the windows of a passing L train. But that she got a good look at the boy in the act of stabbing his father. As far as I can see it, this is unshakable testimony.
In my opinion, it's very shakeable.
This is a pretty complicated business.
Frankly, I don't see how you can vote for acquittal.
All right, I'm changing my vote.
What?
It's guilty.
The boy in the gray flannel suit here is bouncing backwards and forwards like a tennis ball.
No point in getting nasty.
People have been nasty this whole time.
Someone before mentioned 7 o'clock.
Don't you feel well? You made a gesture that reminded me of something.
All right, where are we going with this?
Why were you rubbing your nose like that?
I was rubbing it because it bothers me a little.
Is it because of your eyeglasses?
It is.
Your eyeglasses made those 2 deep impressions in the sides of your nose. I've never worn eyeglasses. 20/20. The woman who testified that she saw the killing had those same marks on the sides of her nose.
Wow, he can really observe some people. She doesn't have good vision.
She had those same marks. She kept rubbing them in court.
He's right. Now, she did do that a lot.
This woman was about 45 years old. She's making a tremendous effort to look 35.
Ooh.
Brand new clothes that should have been worn by a younger woman. No glasses.
Interesting.
Now, she had those marks. I saw them.
Well, so what? What do you think that means?
She wears glasses.
I was the closest one to her. She had these things in the side of her nose. What do you call those?
Could those marks be made by anything other than eyeglasses?
No.
No, they couldn't.
I didn't see any marks.
I did.
Well, what about the lawyer? Why didn't he say something?
There are 12 people in here concentrating on this case. 11 of us didn't think of it either.
Right.
Well, when she saw this kid killing his father, she was in the house alone.
Do you wear glasses when you go to bed?
Nope.
No, no one wears eyeglasses to bed.
I wear glasses, but y'all wouldn't know that because I don't need them when I'm on YouTube.
Maybe she honestly thought she saw the boy kill his father. I say she only saw a blur.
How do you know what kind of glasses she wore? Maybe there was sunglasses. Maybe she was farsighted.
Sunglasses in her house. I mean, I know some people do that, but still.
Identify a person 60 feet away at night without glasses.
Right.
Don't you think the woman might have made a mistake?
No.
It's not possible.
No, it's not possible.
Is it possible?
Yes.
Not guilty.
You think he's guilty?
I think he's guilty.
So you're the last one. Oh no, there's two more.
Not guilty.
What's the matter with you?
I have a reasonable doubt now.
Yep.
I don't care whether I'm alone or not. It's my right.
It's your right.
Think about the 18-year-old, please.
Well, what do you want? I say he's guilty.
You want to hear your arguments.
You're the last one standing. The floor is yours.
Why don't you take that stuff about the old man? The old man who lived there and heard everything.
He has a limp.
The old man saw him right there on the stairs.
It took him too long to get there. Okay. He saw someone, but I don't think it was the boy.
Sure, you can take all the time, hobble around the room, but you can't prove it. I bet you $5,000 I'd remember the movies I saw.
5,000.
And what about hearing the kid yell? Huh?
It was too noisy.
Here. Well, that's it. That's the whole case. Well?
The shots of everyone looking at him are so good.
You're not going to intimidate me. I'm entitled to my opinion. Rotten kids, you work your life out.
There it is. Ooh.
Not guilty.
All right, well, there you have it.
Not guilty.
Oh. I like how he helped him.
What's your name?
Davis.
My name's McCardle. Well, so long.
Guys, that was 12 Angry Men, and this was absolutely wonderful. Real quick, since I mentioned that you guys have never seen me with my glasses on, I figured may as well throw these on here. Now, I'm not going to keep these on because clearly my ring lights are on and there is a horrible glare with my glasses. But since I decided to throw that out there, this is what I look like with my glasses on. Now, taking these off. Yeah, this was, wow. For me, the most powerful scene, I know I mentioned it, for me was when that one juror was just going off about this young man and his kind and how they are. And when people just kept getting up one by one and turning their backs, that's very symbolic for me. Just turning your back on the hate. Like, obviously, we have to acknowledge that there are a lot of people with that type of hate in their heart, but gosh, man, that was just beautiful to see. Each of them getting up and just saying, no, we're not going to tolerate that. A lot of people were saying that in the beginning, but it's just like, and I do appreciate the one juror who said, hey, I grew up in the slums. Like, we're not all the same. And this film really did touch on taking a group of people and putting them all in the same category as if they're all alike. And it's not. That's not the way things are. I give it a 10 out of 10. This was great. I don't have any negatives about it. I mean, we had really, really tough conversation, and it shows what goes on in a jury room. Like when people have to go in there and they have to deliberate, and it's just kind of like, okay, let's see if we can figure this whole thing out here. I thought this was done wonderfully. The script was great. The camera work was great. Love that it was in black and white. Let me see. Yep, that was him. Yep, I knew I recognized that face when I saw, his name is Martin, but I looked at him and I was like, that's Arbogast from Psycho. I love seeing him again. That was really nice. Another part that I really loved too, very quick, overall loved all of it, but I loved when everything just came into question about the old man, and he did that demonstration. Fantastic. Wonderful. They had the diagram of the apartments. He was like, yeah, it took me 15 seconds to get there. What you mean? It took you 15 seconds with a limp? Not saying that, I mean, and again, I hope nobody takes offense to me saying it that way, but he couldn't, he walked with a limp, and he was just trying to, get to the door. And again, just because you saw somebody run, I mean, was he able to positively identify that it was the young man? That would have been another question I would have asked. Was he able to identify him in any way, shape, or form? Did you see hair color, clothing, anything like that? Oh my goodness. And when our first gentleman, when he pulled that switchblade out and he hit it on and slammed it on that table, I said, oh, all right now. Hey, we're getting somewhere here. Again, those were the parts that really just stood out to me. And of course, at the end with the last juror, when he finally broke down and ripped up the photo of him and his son, I mean, that was powerful as well. So overall, guys, I don't have anything negative to say about this. I don't. It did what it needed to do. I was frustrated with certain jurors. Like, people were cracking jokes, talking about going to a baseball game and all this stuff. And it's like, this is somebody's life. We need to take this a bit seriously now, okay? And I love the line. And again, this is my first time watching it. I'm not going to remember the line perfectly, but when they talked about your own personal prejudice getting in the way of your thinking, and it can just cloud your mind, really, because you're so set in your ways, thinking that certain people are a certain way and they can't change, and they're just all lumped together. This was so good, and I'm just going to leave it at that. Oh, to my beautiful, lovely YouTube family. Oh, there's so many of y'all that have made your way over here to the channel. So happy to have you here. Hopefully you guys enjoyed this video, and please don't forget to like, share, subscribe, and please hit that notification bell, darling, so that you know whenever I upload a video. Hope you guys are all having a wonderful day so far, and I will see you all in the next video, whichever one you choose to watch. Take care of yourselves. I'll see you guys later.